too. now.
Okay, yep.
It is. It is. Exactly, mate. Exactly. G'day, Chris.
Okay, Chris, how are you? All set to go? Well, kia ora, good morning everybody. It is good to have Transport Minister Simeon Brown, and of course we're in Simeon Brown country in his home electorate of Pakuranga today. The last few years, as everyone knows, has been economically challenging for New Zealand. Rampant inflation and rising interest rates have squeezed family budgets, and that squeeze has driven the country into recession, and now unemployment is rising. And there is no doubt about it, it's currently a very tough time for Kiwis dealing with the cost of living. Which is why we know as a government that rebuilding the economy to lower the cost of living is job number one. That's why our focus has been on cutting wasteful spending, slashing red tape, and supporting Kiwis with the cost of living via tax relief and other measures. And there are some encouraging, albeit very early signs that our plan is starting to work. For example, inflation is continuing to fall, with food prices having just risen by 0.2% in the last year, the lowest in over 5 years. But we know that there's so much more to do to turn around New Zealand. And so from tomorrow, new measures kick in to support Kiwis struggling with the cost of living. From tomorrow, the Auckland regional fuel tax will be abolished, saving motorists 11.5 cents per litre every time they fill up. And so for a hard-working tradie driving a truck like a Toyota Hilux, that means a savings of around $9 every time they fill up. Or for a seniors driving a Toyota Corolla hatchback, that means savings of around $6 each and every time that they fill up. And also from tomorrow, Family Boost kicks in as well. Early child care costs are a big cost for young families, and we know the financial impact that it can have on mums and dads looking to return to work. And that's why we're taking action. So if you're a family that qualifies for Family Boost, all of your early child care costs from tomorrow will be eligible for a 25% rebate up to a maximum of $150 per fortnight. We're determined to rebuild the economy to lower the cost of living, and I'm proud that by keeping our promise to cut wasteful spending, we're able to support Kiwis with the cost of living, and from tomorrow some of that support will start to kick in. With that, Simeon and I are happy to take any questions you may have.
How's this funding going to help everyday Kiwis?
How will this helps everyday Kiwis by the fact that, as I said, if you're a tradie, you're going to be saving $9 every time you fill up. If you've got a smaller hatchback car, you might be $6 each time they fill up. But what we're doing here is making sure that we're doing everything we can with tax relief for low and middle income working New Zealanders, with Family Boost to help with early childhood education costs, and with other cost of living around fuel, that we can do initiatives like this that make sense to give more money back in Kiwis' pockets so they can navigate the cost of living crisis.
You're going to replace the regional fuel tax with time of use charging. Can you outline the timetable for that?
Timetable for time of use charging? I'll let Simeon talk to that. Yep.
Our policy decisions haven't been made on that yet. We've committed to it as part of our coalition agreement with the ACT Party, but there's still decisions to be made, legislation brought to Parliament, and to go through that process. So we're still working through that.
Can you give us a rough idea of your intent?
Well, we're doing it. We're doing it's part of our coalition agreement, so we're doing it this term. We're working through the policy decisions at the moment.
You've said in the GPS that time of use charging is going to play a key role in delivering roads of national significance. Does that mean you're going to use some of the proceeds from time of use charging towards roads of national significance?
Oh no, what we've said is we're going to use tolling to help pay for the roads of national significance. We've said tolls have to play a role because ultimately those who use them, those who benefit from the new infrastructure should be paying for it. And I think if you look around the world, that's how a lot of new infrastructure is built and financed. So we've said we're open to all types of funding and financing to build that infrastructure, and that will be outlined as those roads get underway.
But with time of use charging, the income from that
Well,
also be used.
Well, ultimately, time of use charging is about managing demand. That's what it's about. It's about managing demand during peak time in the morning, peak time in the afternoon. If you look around the world, often there's no charge when there's no congestion. So it's about managing the congestion. That's where we see the benefit from time of use charging. And look, there will be some revenues which come from that, and those are some of those policy decisions we're working through at the moment.
And how much of that income is going to go to councils like Auckland Council from?
Well, we're working through the policy at this stage, but ultimately if money's raised in a region, it should go back to a region to make sure it's actually invested back into transport projects. We've made that very clear, but we're working through those policy changes. Today's about saying Auckland Regional Fuel Tax, it's gone. It was spent building speed bumps, slowing people down, and there's actually around $420 million unspent as of today. That is frankly unacceptable. The last government was taxing Aucklanders, spending it on speed bumps, and hasn't even spent $420 million of it. So that's sitting in a bank account. That's appalling, and we just think actually we shouldn't be just taking that money off Aucklanders and not delivering, so we're getting rid of the tax.
But the GPS does suggest that some of that income is going to go towards roads of national significance.
Well, the remaining funds from the Auckland Regional Fuel Tax has been ring-fenced. It will go towards completing the Eastern Busway, the new trains for the City Rail Link and the sidings, and also some local roading upgrades in Auckland. That's going to the priority projects which were agreed between the council and the government, but ultimately we're stopping the tax and we're stopping it being wasted on speed bumps.
Yeah.
You haven't answered the question. Your GPS says that some of that income is going to go towards roads of national significance.
Not the Auckland Regional Fuel Tax. The remaining Auckland Regional Fuel...
The money from time of use charging.
The time of use charging money, if whatever's net raised, ultimately that is a part of the policy decisions we're working on. We've said tolls, we've said value capture, we've said other funding and financing tools, all are on the table, but ultimately those policy decisions haven't been made yet.
So cutting those, is that going to have an impact on the likes of weather damaged roads and stuff like that? How's that going to affect you?
No, I mean, there's been a massive investment in this budget in transport, as Simeon has championed and advocated very strongly for. We have a major piece of work underway to make sure we've got modern, reliable infrastructure in this country. As you know, we've got 17 roads of national significance, roads of regional significance. We've got massive investment in maintenance and renewal of our roading network going on, and a big part of that will happen here in Auckland as well. So, you know, we've got a major investment. We need to really upgrade our roading network very, very strongly. We will do that in a way of actually attracting private capital to New Zealand as well, so that we can actually get infrastructure built much quicker to close the gap that we've got across the country.
When do you expect those roads of national significance to be announced?
Yeah, well, we've announced the 17 roads of national significance, but let me talk. Someone can talk through the.
Well, as you know, the National Land Transport Program is currently under development by NZTA. They've already started work on a range of the projects, but as you know, Bernard, in the last 6 years, no planning work was done on any of those major roading projects. The reality is only one of them actually has a consent. So there's a huge amount of work that needs to be done to get that program up and running, and the National Land Transport Program will be announced in early September. We'll give some more clarity around the timelines and what's going to be happening there.
Great. Okay, we're all good to go?
Hey, thanks very much.
Thank you very much. Appreciate your time. Take care. Thank you for coming out to marvellous East Auckland. I encourage you to go have a coffee in Howick in the main street, would be marvellous, and many other things that you could do here, including Howick Historical Village across the road. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.